Hello good people, Emmanuel Safali bring you the Promise Insurance Show. Today I want to speak about fire insurance. And before I go very far into it, let me check out this video that aired some time back.
Screaming, shouting and running are the scenes that describe the events that happened this afternoon in Yinsuwa, a Kampala suburb, after fire-gutted furniture workshops. The devastating fire left many people running for dear life. The fire and rescue services team arrived on time, but the rate at which it was spreading was beyond their capacity. Traders in the building that were right in front of the furniture shops were seen removing their merchandise from the shops. Civilians and the fire brigade worked together to contain the fire after it spread to one of the buildings next to the Total petrol station. Some of the traders were in disbelief while others were in tears as they watched their properties worth millions go up in flames.
Let's pause it at here. Sorry about that, we shall just conclude with it later. So I just wanted to give a scenario of what happened there. So these are traders. Many of them are just renting these premises. And there's another. So let's look at the fire element today, because our allied perils. When they talk about fire and allied perils, we mean that these other damages or other risks out there that can actually cause total loss. Tuba tutegeeza wano obuzibu bwonna bujja ne bumalawo stock yo ng'omusuubuzi. So that is what happens actually in such scenarios. Oftentimes, these traders are renting premises. They have their furniture. So this is an example of a trader there in Boise or anywhere in Kampala. So they have their finished furniture and some raw materials, say worth 500 million. And then they also have equipment of the furnitures, the machines they use, maybe another 500 million. This is just a hypothetical or an example you're using. So this is apparently about 1 billion. Now, for us as insurers, because we have capacity, we have reinsurers that help us, we can charge you a commercial rate of 0.25. However, as you noticed here, there are different rates we can use. If it's dealing in form of mattresses, this will be a higher rate. It could be different rates apply. I can't go into these statistics right now, but the tables and the regulators are there. Insurance Regulatory Authority has these rates on their website, so you can actually revise. So if this is the premium, about 2.225 million, plus the taxes, it will come to about 2.7 million. There are other intricacies that are involved there, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is to know that there is an excess or deductible of 10% or 100,000, whichever you meet, whichever is the minimum. So this also gives you just a slight on the minimum rates, because we are guided by the regulator IRA. Shows you that there's a minimum of 100,000. Now there is also what we call earthquake. These are natural perils or natural risks like earthquake. We shall give you minimum excess. The minimum deductible that you will meet as the client is the 2.5% of the sum insured. So in this case, the sum insured was 1 billion, meaning we shall pay, or you will contribute at least the first 2.5 million, not just 100,000, because this is a natural thing. And then other perils, 10% or 100,000, whichever is more. For industrial risks, of course, now what I've used is just for traders, but there are those factories that have more sophisticated materials and higher sum insured, higher values. There can be deductions. So that is very important to note. So with that, I don't want to speak so much about fire because it can be such a very sad affair, just like you have seen in this video. Maybe let's just conclude with it, just for you to appreciate what these traders go through and why they should actually transfer these risks. Oftentimes, abasuubizi bali batya nnyo Yinsuwa bagamba bano abantu tebasasula, naye really omuntu wakugamba olina stock yo ya buwumbi bulamba naye nga premium wa just $2 million noba tozirina zonna osobola okusasulako mu bitundutundu. I'm talking about the insurance premium financing facility. You don't have to pay all this premium at once. You can actually use the banks. So let's just conclude this.
Nze mbadde nina ebyalaani wano 8 byonna bibengeye sina kyenfunyemu entebe zange zonna zibaddemu zigenze.
Bukenya Frank, one of the traders who describes the incident as unfortunate, says trouble stemmed from a colleague who was welding a container.
Wawerodingi bw'abadde ayokya omuliro ne gutandika natasooka kwogererawo bw'alabye guyitiridde waayogeredde nga gutandise okukola ki okusaasaana abadde atwala akayumba ke.
Abawazi bafiiridde mu maali yaabwe naye tusaba oba banka nga zibanja abaami abo kuba basinga bali mu looni abayambe abakwateko basonyiwa naye nga ye maali y'abasuubuzi entebe z'abasuubuzi zifiiridde wano entebe zisukka mu 5.
The Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson Patrick Onyango says it has taken the brigade 13 trucks to contain the situation. Police have now launched investigations into the fire to establish the actual cause.
A team is going to be set up. This team will involve the Forensic Directorate. It will involve the Uganda the National Review Building Board. Will involve the professional engineers. All this team will be brought on board to investigate the cause of fire.
Jamila Mlindo Nwaha.
So thank you so much for that attention. You can notice that all these things are captured in these kind of policies. They are very well laid out. Someone mentioned, one of the traders mentioned that banks have to forgive them the loans they have taken out, but a bank will not forgive because it is giving you other people's money. Bank atejja kusonyiwa ebbanja lyoba otutte ate omuliro ne gubaawo kubanga baakuwa ssente z'abantu abalala enozizaayo. Kyova olaba oba ogenze mu banka ogenda kwewola kwekyo ekintu bajja kugamba kale obeerewo n'ensuwa y'ekyo. Naye ate ebiseera ebisinga mugyerabira oba mulekerawo okutwala insuwa nga loan eweddeyo. Naye banka nayo era emanyi kubanga obuzibu bubeerawo. Bano baneiba betubeera nabo balina ebintu bye basobola okukola. Oyinza okuba nga otutumikise bulungi mu bizinesi naye olina ayagala okwokya bizinesi yo. Ebiseera ebisinga investigation zirwawo. But whenever these investigations actually delay, for you that should not be your matter. If you had an insurance policy, the insurance company is supposed to pay you this amount of money plus less of the excesses. Then the investigations will come later. When they are coming, we shall actually, at least you will have that peace of mind that there's an insurance policy that is going to pay, and they can actually take on the issues of the investigations to further ascertain. But you as a business owner should not be losing time on getting your compensation and starting another merchandise place elsewhere or your business. So with those few remarks, I remain Emmanuel Safali, bring you the Promise Insurance Show. Please let's engage more on insurance matters. There's so much here we would have discussed, but we can't conclude all of it. I remain Emmanuel Safali, telling you that we need to hope for the best while preparing for the worst.